Alright, round 3 Legacy. We are still here with Alwin, who was on in Mulligan 5. We saw him in round 2, where he beat the Mono Red Stompy from Case. And this round he is up against Seba, who is definitely one of the better players at the Boardroom. Maybe the best. It depends on if he's having a good night. Well, he is this night, as we can clearly see. He's playing Izzet Delver, and I checked. He does have Delvers in his deck. A Chalice on 0 from Alwin here. That's interesting, and then going into Sphere of Resistance. Now, Alwin going on a mulligan to 5 because he believes to know what Seba is playing here. I mean, if he didn't know during the mulligan, he definitely knows now, or at least he should know. But that Chalice on 0 is interesting. Because I don't believe Seba's playing Mistress Bauble. Is he? Oh, actually, no, he might be. Interesting. We'll have to see how that goes. Seba decides to hardcast Daze, getting rid of the Sphere of Resistance. And then plays Expressive Iteration. I mean, he might be playing Baubles, which would definitely make the Baubles worse. Because, of course, Mishra's Bauble is a fantastic card when paired with Dragon's Rage Channeler. But even if you don't get the draw, you still do kinda... You do get the delirium value. So I think that at least personally I would have tried to put it on 1, but I don't know. Alwin knows the deck better than I do, so I'm gonna trust his judgment on this. We do in fact have Delver coming out for Seba here. Able to provide a bit of a clock here. Hopefully before Alwin starts getting his lock pieces out. Whatever those may look like. Unfortunately, I don't have a deck list for either of these players, but Delver, I think I can manage. Let's be honest, it's Delver. Karn Stompy though, that's a bit more difficult, but we're gonna do our best here. Lightning Bolt going to Alwin here. Looks like I missed a bit of damage. Oh, yeah, no. I missed the fact that there's a third Glimmer post coming down for Alwin here. Delver flipping off the reveal of a Force of Negation here. I'm gonna put Alwin to 19. An Expressive Iteration. I believe I saw Daze being added to the hand. And a Fetch being exiled here. And then immediately played. Yeah, that does look like Seba does have a Daze. He has a Force of Negation that Alwin knows about. That unfortunately doesn't work on the Golos, but looks like Seba is also holding a Force of Will. The question is that going to be worth forcing? I would imagine so. More question of what are you exiling? It's going to be the days, looks like. Interesting, interesting. So what would the argument here be to exile days instead of force of negation? Is the access to a hard counter, I guess? Because I would imagine Alwyn doesn't have all too many creatures aside from the Golos. We did see a walking ballista during round 2. And of course there's the issue of Alwyn just being able to make enough mana to pay for days, so yeah, no. Getting rid of the days is definitely the correct call here. Wasteland gonna get rid of the Buried Ruin. I'm gonna put Alwyn to 16. Buried Ruin can potentially be a very scary card, depending on what Alwyn can end up finding or putting in the graveyard. Interesting to see what Alwyn comes up with here to try and fight back. A second Delver coming out for Seba here. Sorcerer's Spyglass. Going to name Wasteland. Alwyn kind of struggling on lands right now. Would definitely not mind not getting wastelanded. Delver for Seba does not flip, but is going to put Alwyn to 12. Seba going to play? Okay, plays the Volcanic and then casts Murktide Regent. That's definitely gonna put a lot of pressure on Alwyn right now. He needs to find something this turn. Because that is going to be a... How big is that? That is a 8/8 Murktide Regent. That would be lethal. And Alwyn doesn't find it, and we go to game 2. Game 2, Alwyn again on the mulligan, this time to 6. Alwyn has not been lucky tonight. I don't think he's kept a single 7 the entirety of this night. It's incredible. I think that's one of the downsides of playing Stompy, I guess. But yeah, that's definitely unfortunate. Seba again keeping 7. And as far as sideboarding goes, I know Alwyn just has a Karn Wishboard, so he has nothing to sideboard. Seba, on the other hand, I did see him sideboard some cards. He sideboarded out some of his Lightning Bolts, which of course aren't really going to find any real targets. Maybe a Karn, but he might not know Alwyn is playing Karn. And mostly, I would assume Seba's just gonna try and get under Alwyn here. Because if you try to go over the Stompy deck as Delver, you're not gonna have a good time. You're just not. Let's see, Vesuva is gonna copy the Cloud Post for Alwyn here. And for 2 mana, he's thinking about going Chalice on 1. And is gonna go Chalice on 1. Thankfully, Seba managed to get in a Delver and has access to Daze. Delver is going to flip off a Force of Negation, and suddenly Alwyn is not looking too hot. So we see Force of Negation, we see Wasteland coming out here. It's gonna take one of the Cloud Posts. I'm gonna attack for 3. Yeah, I see a Force of Negation, a Force of Will, a Volcanic Island, an Expressive Iteration. I can't quite see what the 5th and 6th card are. We have Glimmer Post coming out here. Gonna put all into 19. And a Grim Monolith coming down. Possibly a Karn afterwards? It's starting to look like it. No, a Ballista for 2. Going to use the Grim Monolith to play a Ballista on 2. That could potentially take some of the wind out of Seba's sails here. So we're just gonna force pitching the Expressive Iteration. Oh, we're not happy with that one. And he still knows about the Force of Negation as well. Looks like there's a Daze there as well, so this Volcanic Island probably coming back to the hand real soon. Yeah, I would imagine Seba just firing off that Daze as soon as he finds a target for it. Sorcerer Spyglass. The jig is up. We have Daze, Force of Negation, a Blood Moon, and a Murktide Regent. Blood Moon and Murktide Regent were the last 2 cards. That's pretty scary. Didn't quite catch what the name was on the Spyglass. A challenge on 1 coming down again. Oh, actually, the 14. Owen is going hard. That Delver is definitely putting in the work right now. Going down to 11. Yeah, this might be a fast one. Is Owen gonna draw anything? What can he draw here? Maybe a Karn. Try and wish for an Ensnaring Bridge. Maybe draw an Ensnaring Bridge. I'm not sure if Alwyn is playing a Wormcoil Engine, perhaps. We got Karn the Great Creator coming out. And I'm guessing an Ensnaring Bridge. Alwyn going down to 9. And no, actually not wishing. It's gonna get countered by the Force of Negation, of course. That was not gonna let that one resolve. He cannot let the Karn resolve and just give Alwyn something to come back in. Murktide Regent coming down again is gonna be a 6/6. Alwyn draws an Ancient Tomb, and I think that's all she wrote. No, Alwyn, damage no longer goes on the stack. You're dead, my friend. Well, it was a good run anyway. It's going to go 2-0 to Seba, and I think we're going to see him in round 4.